all I can say is like, me and CeCe, whatever happened. There was a time when her and I really talked it out like adults. And we agreed that like, everything was good, and we hugged it out and actually cried a little bit.
What made you cry?
I felt bad. Who wants to be accused of rape?
A month and a half after that, I actually found out I was pregnant, and I found out I was having twins. I was already expecting when I was sexually assaulted by Stefan in his hot tub. My biggest fear was being a single mother. I wanted my kids to have a father that's present. Every decision I've made was for them. So after they were born, I was at the house every weekend. There was Heather, Cass there to help me with the boys. There was no arguing, there were no fights, and the boys had everything they needed. But I knew the truth. When it comes to Stefan, you're basically his property. He thinks he's entitled to our bodies.
Oh, good afternoon, man. So, I watched the Big Girls Wanted, the Escaping Paradise last night, and there was a lot. It's a lot, right? So, I kind of got the episodes mixed up because I was watching one and then I'd get, called away, and then I'd come back to it and I would start on the second one. Like, I don't know YouTube TV yet. So anyways, the lady that you see in the front of this clip, they call her CeCe, and CeCe describes an evening while living at Paradise where she went to work, she was just dog tired, she got home and she got in the hot tub, and while she's in the hot tub, Stefan comes over and he starts picking at her, doing that old sex pest stuff. So she ends up giving in. And but she's prefacing it by saying, I didn't want to. So she goes to work the next day and she tells a coworker what had happened. And the coworker says, well, that's assault. And a month and a half later or so, she finds out that she's pregnant. And she carries the babies, with twins. So she has the babies, and then they have, at some period post-conception, they have some sort of sit down where they come to some sort of understanding. If I were asked to assume what I thought happened, what I think happened was she had identified that it was an SA, but then after having talked with Stefan, they reached some sort of agreement where there were no charges, there were none of this. They were kind of co-parenting. I'm assuming there's some sort of breakdown in the relationship after the co-parenting, because now she's in this documentary. So she's kind of went, felt it was SA, understanding, children come. Now she's back on, now she's on the documentary kind of feeling like, it's back to SA again. Maybe she never left that place, but It's a very interesting dynamic. It's absolutely horrid that she had to go through that and that she feels that way, but the tone is synonymous with most of the women right now. I said yesterday that there wasn't an older gal, that these gals were all 20s and 30s or whatever. There was actually an older gal, and she sort of inserted herself in the situation as the protector of Stefan. And these things kept happening, and you know, I don't want to give my synopsis on her, but certainly the situation with CeCe as it lays, she definitely still feels like the day that her two twins were conceived, that they were conceived out of an SA situation. So I don't know what all that means in terms of legality. Maybe, you know, maybe now that this stuff is mainstream and that, you know, sure, you know how the internet works, man. You know, I don't have to tell none of y'all. So I'm certain at some point, probably, I wouldn't be surprised if the dynamic changed, and that it changed to a scenario where it's serious. It turns serious, right? Like certain things, you don't have to call the police and say, hey, I was this, or this. They can just become aware of it, and here they come. So I'm gonna finish up watching them again in their entirety tonight, but that was just sort of the takeaway from what I watched last night. It definitely, it's not in the lifestyles, it's not in adult films, this is in true crime. So HBO Cinemax has filmed this series of videos, or the whole documentary that's been broken down into episodes. They certainly, in their opinion, are projecting this to the world in the true crime genre. That's really all you need to know about that portion of it, right? It's not like they're like, oh, look, this is some other alternate lifestyle, check it out. No, they're like, this is crime, this is true crime. It's just that he's not been indicted, charged, and convicted on anything, but they're calling it true crime. I find that one of the most interesting dynamics of all of it. Anyways, thank you for watching. Remember, the absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence. Have a great day.